What do you think happens when you die? I have my thoughts, but the truth is that nobody really knows. Maybe you get reborn as someone prettier, which is a low bar for some of us. Maybe you go to heaven and endure the company of all the church ladies that never left you a tip at Olive Garden. Or maybe, and I kind of lean this way, maybe you just stop. Rest implies consciousness, but the boundless dark that envelops the dead would certainly seem to me like a nap from which you never have to wake up, and that sounds like the best of any option that I've heard. I've never been a fan of birthdays. It's not a fear of age or some vanity of wanting to seem younger than I am. I just have always hated that brand of attention. Celebrating that I exist feels awkward, and it's not like it's much of an accomplishment. I wake up and trudge wearily forward, making barely enough money, feeding myself as regularly as doctors say that I should, and clinging to the hope that someday things really might get better. And then we all get cake because I did this 365 times. Hip hip hooray, and all of that. If this sounds bitter and sad, you should listen to my music. This year was the hardest of my life. I don't feel as though I have a great deal worth celebrating, and if anything, I've slid backwards quite a lot. All of the things I invested myself into have collapsed in pretty dramatic fashion. So what am I doing as I blow out the candles to kick off 36, besides growing older and still managing to avoid any semblance of wisdom? Well, so far I've started recording another angsty record for both of my fans. I'm writing a children's book and illustrating it at the local coffee shop while desperately trying to make friends. I'm trying to finish the sci-fi trilogy that I started when I was happier and now feel wholly incapable of spending time in without the whole story turning into something much more dreary than I intended. Oh, and I also play Call of Duty. Poorly. But those aren't real movements. They're almost like arts and crafts, like knitting for a hipster millennial. I've spent a significant portion of my life struggling to find a home, whatever that word means. Whether that's in friends and family or even in a place. Where I live is God-fearing country, and while I fear a great many things, open water, any deep caves, movies with subtitles, and literally all girls, I've never been afraid of God. If he damns me to hell, I figure maybe I can meet my people there, because his followers are more annoying than Taylor Swift fans, and that's really saying something. This is also an area that loves country music, cosplaying cowboys and two-stepping. If you know me, I don't exactly jive with the home on the range folks. If you don't know me, picture an awkward barista who takes too much pride in knowing about a band that you've never heard of. I generally try to be funnier with these posts, but this just hasn't been my year. Maybe next year will be. But through all of it, I gotta wonder, what's the point? I always felt like to love and be loved was a good one, but that second half always tends to get me. So I don't know. This is the part where I'm supposed to talk about the intrinsic value in perseverance, the requisite tenacity for living on this rock in the middle of space. But the truth is, I don't really have a silver lining right now. I couldn't even find a bronze one. Maybe religion would fix it, but as an ex-evangelical with a lot of Bible knowledge and too many memories in the church, if God and I talk, it'll be after I give up the ghost. Remember, communication is a two-way street, and I'm done being the first one to reach out. Even, and maybe especially, when the other guy is a deity. So, another year down, probably most of them. Maybe my blasphemy will land me with more friends in the afterlife on a toastier side of purgatory. Maybe I'm already there, I don't know. The positive view is that maybe I'll figure it out this year. But optimism is just a pretty word for poor pattern recognition, and I tend to love looking for patterns. And if my dating history is any indicator, I also love ignoring them. Thanks to everyone that helped me through another 8,760 hours of endurance. I probably love you. Actually, this time, I do love you. I definitely love you, yeah. This one should at least say that. I love you. Thanks for the good times. I've had more than my fair share, I'm sure.